Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. My name is Jeremiah. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Bridge Integrative Medicine in the Kansas City Northland. Today we're going to talk about migraine pain. If you're like me, you've probably dealt with migraine pain for a long time. I had my first migraine when I was 16, and for the next 15 to 20 years I just suffered through it. Most of the doctors I talked to were prescribing medicines. I was taking Ibuprofen and Tylenol, Excedrin migraine pills. Yeah, you name it, I tried it as far as medicine was concerned, and it just didn't fix anything. It would help a little bit, but it would always come back. I'd sometimes get them every 3 days. Might be a week when it go by and I wouldn't get one, but I couldn't get past getting migraines. And it caused a lot of problems with work, caused a lot of problems with movement. I used to be a runner, used to ride my bike a ton, not as much anymore, and it just wasn't working right. Met Dr. Jake about 2 years ago, and Dr. Jake is a chiropractor. He's also our director of rehab here at Bridge Integrative Medicine, working on the muscle system for people. And I'm gonna let him kind of share a little bit about what he did to fix my migraine pain, in the hope that it will help you to make a decision to fix your migraine pain like I did. So this is Dr. Jake.
Hey ma'am, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Jake.
Good. How are the migraines today?
Better, yeah.
Good.
Haven't had any at all this week. Got some headache pain, but not bad. So,
just for people watching, kind of give them kind of your history. What's your?
So we already talked about the migraines. So I used to have migraines a lot, and how met you as a chiropractor, but you're also the director of rehab,
Right.
And how you've kind of addressed some of these muscles that are through here.
Okay. And how you'll still get them occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
What have you found what's the change been? Are they as frequent? Or are they as intense?
So for people watching, they're not as intense as they were. And then when I do get them, you've given me the tools that I need to address it. So like with these muscles, with the muscles that flare up, that cause the pain, I'm actually able to address that now with the Theracane, with the lacrosse ball, that type of thing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, what I find a lot of times is we see a lot of people that get migraines, and the first places that I go are the muscles, actually, because when people are told they have migraines, really a lot of times a migraine is a really intense tension headache that creates that kind of aura, light sensitive, sound sensitive, and so it gets labeled as a migraine. But a lot of times we can reproduce that just by working through the muscles. So let's work through a couple here.
Yeah.
Let me know. You can even do some of this on your own, just pushing on these muscles. And what we're looking for is if it reproduces that same migraine feeling. So as I push here, tender here as I push.
Oh yeah, that's tender for sure.
And does it radiate up into the head at all?
I can feel it right here.
Okay. So when we can find a muscle that radiates the same spot, then we kind of know we've found the root of it, and then we can start to address that from a chiropractic standpoint and getting motion back into the joints. But then more importantly, equally as important is to address the muscle problem that's causing it. So so we start to get into that. So you got that one on the left side. How are we on the right here?
That's tender. It's not as tender as it was on the top.
Yeah, you were really, really tender here.
Yeah, I can feel it in my ear.
Here you can, or last time?
Like right now, I can feel it right through here.
Yeah, kind of radiates up in there.
Yeah.
What I find is when we can find that spot for a patient, and it's like that light bulb clicks, that's my pain. And before, they felt like their only option was just to take pills to try and manage it, because there aren't a lot of, you can take Excedrin, migraine, things like that, but they didn't feel like there was much else to do than just sleep it off. And so I think gives some hope. Here's another one that often is missed when we're looking at muscles. It's the SCM, or sternocleidomastoid, and it sits right to the side of the neck. Tenderness there as I push.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Does it radiate as well? Over the eye? Yep. There. Yep. Okay. So we're seeing quite a few muscles here that are contributing to
pain.
The headaches, that you can get. So we have that on the right side.
Yep.
We have this one here on the left.
Oh yeah.
And then another area that people rarely appreciate for causing migraines is actually the TMJ joint, and then the muscles in the jaw.
That definitely
sore there too.
Oh yeah.
So so now we have some muscles that are contributing, and we can now go address those with the rehab, some of the tools, and then those are the trigger points that we treat. And so we give you some of the tools for that, but then we also need to start retraining the right muscles to work so these don't always get tight. And
talk about the chiropractic care a little bit, because I know that when the muscles get tight like that, it tends to pull us out of alignment. Is that correct?
Yeah. A lot of times people think of like a bone just shifting to the right, and we don't really see that. It's more a motion problem. So when this muscle's pulling really hard, each individual joint is supposed to be able to turn, and it loses that ability because it's got so much tension pulling against it. And so that's what we address through the chiropractic piece. And just what I'm going to check here is how each of these joints moves. So you can feel this one right up here doesn't bend real well. The rest of them bend fine. So that's the one that's limited on the left.
So chiropractic care, it's actually restoring motion to joint space.
Exactly. I think that's the most accurate way to think about it. Is if an area gets stuck and doesn't move the way it's supposed to, it puts a lot of extra demand on the muscle and can honestly create some of the tightness that you're feeling here. So let's go ahead and fix this one. Drop to the left for me and then turn right just a little.
Well, thanks for joining us today. I hope you learned something about migraine pain and how to fix it. If you have some questions or you want to talk to one of our providers, you can call our office at 816-454-5433. Again, 816-454-5433. We'd love to have a conversation with you about how to fix the pain that you're in.